Hello, I am Carolyn Stewart, and I am a soul-aligned business strategist and educator. And in this video, I want to chat a little bit about agreements and the importance of agreements in your coaching business. So if you are a coach or even a creator, a service provider of some sort, hopefully you already know the importance of agreements. But if you don't yet have really solid agreements in place, I want to challenge you to get those in place right away. And there are a few reasons why we tend to kind of put this off and don't take that leap, that necessary step in our coaching business. And perhaps it's because you're not really a fan of conflict. You want to avoid that conflict as much as possible. Maybe you're just kind of bootstrapping this whole thing and you just want to get off to the races as quickly as possible. But what I will tell you is that without clear agreement, you're really lacking a key component of the coaching relationship. So in that coaching relationship, we want to build trust. And in that experience of building trust, we need super clear communication. And one of the things that leads to that really contributes to that, is clear agreements. And so whether that's written down or spoken verbally, clear agreements really help to support both you and your coaching client. It really helps you to go through the experience of understanding what it is that you each need in order to do the work that you've come together to do. And so if you don't yet have clear agreements, know that this is not legal advice at all. It's important that you consult a legal professional if you'd like a legally binding agreement. But what I will suggest that you do is use something like ChatGPT to do a bit of a brainstorm. Some of the key components that you need in your coaching agreements, liability disclaimer is essential, but that kind of goes near the end. The key parts that I would suggest that you really focus in on: one, the services, so really outline those clearly, the duration as well as the timeline. So make sure that you understand and share, okay, I've got this container, this is how long we're working together. What happens if it goes beyond? What happens if payments aren't made on time? All of the pieces that really clearly outline your container. And the reason that I point this one out is because we often skip over it. We forget the importance of having those walls of the container, those boundaries, to help support our coaching relationship. Oftentimes it's like this ongoing thing that we allow to happen, and sometimes it kind of pushes further. Something comes up in our lives or clients' lives, it just keeps getting pushed further and further away. And what I will name, and I know this for myself to be true, is that when we dedicate ourselves to a coaching relationship, or any agreement for that matter, we provide a certain amount of energy from ourselves, right? We set that into that space. And so it's a placeholder for that energy. And if we don't clearly define the boundaries, it gets really leaky. And it makes it difficult for us to understand and to set aside time for other agreements. So imagine this. Imagine you have, say, 3 coaching clients that you want to start with each month. And this month you have 3, you set it up, you've started the process, but one client in particular just keeps rescheduling, keeps putting it off till the next week, to the next week. And then the following month happens, you want to bring on 3 new clients, and guess what? That person from the previous month is still with you. That means you've got one less client in this month that you can actually serve and that you'll actually bring in terms of income. So it not only affects your energy, but it can affect that bottom line of abundance, of financial reciprocity. And so it's important to be really clear with that. The other thing that I will point out is what happens when you need to terminate a coaching relationship. Make sure that you have that outlined. Does it need to be in writing? What happens to the payments that have already been made? Is there a refund available? All of that needs to be detailed. And then last but not least, there's so many other components to put in there, but the one that I want to share and really talk about is understanding each other's responsibilities. And this isn't just for you. This really helps to serve the client, for them to understand what are the responsibilities that you are bringing to the table, to the relationship as their coach? What is it that you are willing and able to really lean into? What's your magic? How are you going to support and help them? And it not only gives them that builds that trust, right? And gives that ability to understand, what it is that you could create together. But it also helps to manage expectations. Sometimes we go into these relationships with, this pie in the sky sort of mentality of like anything's possible. And while that's absolutely true, we do want to be reasonable about what it is that we're able to deliver or help the client to actually get to. And so obviously that goes both ways. We also touch into what the responsibilities are of the client, whether that's showing up on time, doing the work, all of the components that go into that. And the reason that's additionally important is it can, if a client really isn't a good fit over time, isn't meeting those responsibilities, that's grounds for termination. That gives you the ability to really shift the coaching relationship when it just no longer works for one of you. So those are my suggestions. Check out ChatGPT. In the Soul-Aligned Business Growth Hub, I go through a training on this. I provide templates. So if you'd like to learn more about that, I'll pop a link below. Sending much love and many blessings.